This is Pastor Bob at marriagehelp.com. We're going to be working on a series of lessons that we call the 10 Rules. In this framework of 10 rules, you can see it posted on the website in the text form. It's going to have 3 different components. You can see the outline of the different rules as it goes down through on the page. You also have the possibility of linking from each rule to a larger description, a text file that will show you how that rule applies or why it needs to be there. In addition, there'll also be a video link for each one of the rules that will give you a taste of what it would be like to sit in one of our training sessions and actually have the dialogue involved in that teaching session. This is an introduction because there are many surveys that people do to try and find out what's most helpful to families who are going through crisis or young couples who need to have the premarital counseling that prepares them for a relationship they really have never had before in their lives. When you read the surveys and you do the research to see what really works and what doesn't, they tell us that when pastors and congregations teach how to resolve conflicts creatively, when we find ways to give people the nuts and bolts of how to make conflict work for the strengthening of the relationship and not against the relationship, not weaken the foundations, people respond by saying this was the most helpful part of the training sessions that we received. And so it's the core of what we do. And it sort of makes sense that way. It doesn't go against your thinking because we have the greatest potential for doing damage to each other and to the relationship when we are at our emotional height, the strongest of our emotions. Conflict is that part of that time when our emotions are inflamed at their very highest level. It's when a lot of the damage gets done. So when we take people through the training session, we do it with a great deal of humor. There's a lot of laughter in the sessions, and you're probably going to find yourself giggling at yourself even in these video conference sessions. Because when you see yourself projected out so that you can see it almost as an objective observer of what's going on, you find how silly we seem and how it really is important to do it right every time. Enjoy these sessions. Sit around and watch them a couple different times. Take the time to really get comfortable with the information, and you will find that when you've printed out the 10 rules and you have them posted all around the house so that you can say, okay, we didn't do very good on number 2 this week, or we broke number 3 when we really needed to have, you'll find that you'll be able to go back to that and say, here is a guideline that has really helped us to know where we went off track, when the discussion, the argument got out of hand and when we began to be destructive, and you can actually feedback with your marriage partner and say, here's what really hurt my feelings, or here's what put us in a bind, and this is where it started to go wrong. Enjoy your time, and remember, there was always going to be a test at the end of this lesson, because there is never going to be a time in your relationship when you don't have the next conflict just around the corner. Be ready. Be confident that you can handle it without hurting each other. God bless you, and thank you for watching MarriageHelp.com.